That is so true. I can't tell you how many times I'll see young people in their 40s, 30s, and they're coming in with high blood pressure. Their blood pressure is like, to the roof, and they had no idea. There's no symptoms. And a lot of these conditions, when they initially present, they don't present with scary symptoms, until it's gotten to an extent or to a point where real complications can occur, and we don't want that. So it's important to just come in, check your blood pressure, and see where it is. And it's not just about the physical too. I think it's important to note that your mental health is a part of your health overall, and we screen for depression and anxiety in our annual physicals, or at least that's what I do. I make sure that we address that, because especially in the times we live in, everyone's so overwhelmed and stressed with whatever it is that they're going through or whatever is happening in the world. It does take a toll on us. And so it's really important that that's addressed as well.
Yeah, and I don't think we think about that with our family doctor, right? You think of like blood pressure and cholesterol and, getting hit on the knee with that thing and your leg going up and, that kind of thing. I don't think we think about mental health necessarily. Welcome to today's Heart of the Hustle. I am here with Dr. O.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us all about you.
Wow. First and foremost, thank you again for having me here. I'm a mom, a wife, a mom of 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. And initially, before moving out here, was raised in New York. And then after training, decided to move out of New York. My husband had an opportunity, so we decided to move to Colorado. Colorado was great, beautiful state. However, we wanted something or a state with more diversity. And we also wanted a place where our kids can grow up near family. And so we ended up in Texas.
And you're up in Little Elm, right?
Yes, we are in Little Elm. At least that's where my practice is. But we actually live in Prosper, but close enough. But it's been amazing. It's been great. I love Texas, and I'm glad we made the move.
It's a big shift.
It is.
We're both East Coast girls.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is my second stint in Texas. I lived in Austin for about 10 years, and then I was back in Jersey for 10, and then I've been back here for 10. But man, my first move here to Austin, it was culture shock.
Yes.
Yeah. For sure. What are the things that you've seen that are like just super different from?
Well, there are not as many tall buildings
True.
compared to New York, because, New York City is it's a concrete jungle, it is.
What part of the city did you grow up in?
In the Bronx.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when we say New York, because we're from like the greater, what's called the tri-state area,
yeah.
right? We mean New York City, but there's a whole bunch of like upstate. Anything that's not in New York City is upstate, right? Which is a ginormous area, approximately half the size of Texas.
And it's funny because when you're from the city, you don't even think about upstate. It doesn't even count.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't even exist. Okay. So you're originally from the city.
Yes. New York City, the Bronx.
So the buildings are smaller. What else? What else is different?
I guess it's more family oriented. People are friendly. So much more friendly. I remember when we were getting off the plane, we landed in Dallas, DFW, and people were like, good afternoon, hi. And I'm like, wow, that's different. Because in the city, in New York, you don't even want to look at someone too long, So I like that. That was really nice.
I notice it most in like service roles. And what I mean, but like the cash, the people at the cash register at the grocery store will be like, hey, how's it going? Right. Or have a good day or, whatever. And I, every time whenever I go back to Jersey or, Connecticut or New York, there's no, that small talk doesn't.
No. There's no time for it. There isn't any time for it. So yeah, it's nice to have that here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, and you're also a family physician.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
And you've opened up a practice here in Little Elm. Tell us more about your practice.
So it's called The Family Doctor. Very self-explanatory. I am a board-certified family physician, and it is a primary care practice. And so your bread and butter primary care, we take care of chronic conditions. We do walk-ins, some urgent care. So, we take care of everything. We do have a limit on age. We take care of children from ages 13 up until, you're
Until you're not getting birthdays anymore.
Exactly. Yes, that's a great way to say it. But we can see, sick, like for sick visits, we'll see children younger than 13, but we won't take them on as primary care providers until they're 13.
Yeah, you were saying in our pre-interview, we were talking about how busy it's been because we're entering flu season. We're recording this right before Thanksgiving, and
we've officially entered actually, and so people are coming in feeling sick, coughing, fever, that kind of thing. So we're seeing a lot of that now. Yeah.
Well, we were supposed to do this a few weeks ago,
yes.
And I got it.
But listen, when you sent me that message, I was sick too.
Oh, gosh, it all worked out.
Yes, I was like, oh, good, I didn't have to cancel. So that's good, yeah.
I try to be so considerate of people when it comes to germs, right? You've probably got a killer immune system because you're around it all the time, but I try to be super, super sensitive because I know I hate being sick.
That's the way to do it, though. Yeah, to limit that spread, so that's good.
So did you go to medical school up in New York or?
No, so I actually went to Caribbean school, or what we call offshore med school in Antigua, American University of Antigua. You spend about 18 months or so on the island doing your basic sciences. And then after that, you do your remaining 2 years of rotation in the States. So I did my rotations in New York. So I did pretty much all my clinical training in New York City. And then when I graduated med school, I did my residency in New York as well. So shout out to Jamaica Hospital in Queens, New York. That's where I was trained as a family physician.
Yeah. And then we have an alma mater in common.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So we're both Pirates. Go Seton Hall Pirates.
Exactly.
Wait, so remind me, what was that for your undergrad or was that a different degree?
Yes, so it was for nursing. I did an accelerated program in nursing prior to going into med school. So I'm a registered nurse. That's a part of my background. Yeah.
So was going back to school to be a nurse something that kind of led you into wanting to go further
That's a
and
great
get your
question.
doctorate? Or was it kind of like, or is that a prerequisite? Because usually you pick one or the other, yeah?
Right. You are exactly right. So the intention when I first went to, college, when I got into college, the plan was to go into med school, but I don't think I took my college years as serious as I should have. And so...
Do any of us?
Right. So, I had to, I was able to finish on time. I did my 4 years, graduated with a bachelor's in biology, but I didn't do that great on my MCATs. So I decided to take some time to study. And then I think I had some doubts as to whether I could actually go into med school. And one of my aunts, who is a doctor, she recommended that I look into nursing and see if this is something I really want to do. And I was so glad that I did it. It was the best decision I made because nursing, taught me my bedside manner, how to talk to patients, how to have that empathy. Not saying that doctors don't have it, but there's a different approach when it comes to nursing.
And different training.
Yeah, different training, exactly, for sure. And it also helped me financially as well. Whenever I had a break, I was able to pick up a shift as a nurse to work and take care of my own personal finances. So it was the best decision I made. And so that's when I entered the accelerated program for nursing. And after that, very shortly after, about maybe 2 years or so, I was able to get into med school.
So did you reverse commute out of the city to Jersey?
I was driving. I'm a bougie. I was not taking the subway. So I would drive from the Bronx to South Orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that bad, though, from the Bronx.
No, it's not. You cross the George Washington Bridge and you're pretty much always almost there. Yeah.
Because I have a friend who lives not in South Orange, but in Maplewood, and she commutes into the city every day. She drives, but the reason she drives is because she teaches at Columbia, which is so far, way far north in Manhattan that going over the GW is what kind of makes the most sense for her.
Yeah.
So you went through your residency, I guess it's residency, right, in Jamaica Hospital?
Yes, residency, 3-year program. And so, yeah, it was pretty intense. Any physician that's trained in New York City, you're going to see everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot. And I truly appreciate it. At the time, I didn't because it was so hard. What's so funny is I was pregnant with my second child at the time. I entered into residency pregnant. And it was hard. It was very hard. I was 9 months pregnant, actually. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So you had the first one when you went into medical school?
When I had the first one in the middle of medical school. Okay. Yeah, in the middle of medical school. And then when I got into residency, when I got accepted, I was already pregnant. And then when residency started that summer, I was due. So I literally worked for the first 4 weeks, and then I had my baby. And then I came right back. I only had like 4 weeks off. And yeah, it was tough. It was very tough, but I did it. Thank God.
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do.
And you got to do what you have to do.
I did a similar kind of, it was a 1.5 year long master's program at Seton Hall. And I got pregnant halfway through. And so I was, not quite ready to pop at graduation, but pretty close. And so, and it was miserable. I had a miserable pregnancy, but I was miserable doing that and being in school. And I can't imagine being on your feet and like running around and just having watched a lot of ER, right? We know, that it looks exhausting.
It is very exhausting.
And being 9 months pregnant.
And it was summer, so it was hot.
Oh, yeah. And the summer in New York City is awful.
Yes.
Because there's no
very
air
humid.
circulation.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I did it. I don't know how, but I did. So, yeah.
So then, did you move to Colorado right away?
So yeah, right after training, my husband and he was afforded an opportunity, so we decided to move out to Colorado. For me at the time, it was like an adventure. Like, yeah, let's, living most of my life in New York, it was something different. But I quickly realized that not everywhere is like New York. There's nothing like New York. But it was a good experience too. Like I said earlier, Colorado is a beautiful state. Oh, yeah. The mountains, the just the clean air. It was a great experience.
Culturally, though, it's very different.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
That's you had your culture shock. I had my culture shock there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think it prepared us for Texas because we didn't really have much of a culture shock moving here. Yeah. And just the environment here is so much better. So,
and I feel like we're in North Dallas. Mm-hmm. It's super diverse. Yeah. Here. It's not sort of, I think, what you would think of as stereotypical Texas. If you ever are you watching the TV show Landman?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you have to watch it. It's this great show. Okay. And it's about the oil business in Texas. And it's all about so the company is based in Fort Worth, right? Where they wear cowboy hats without any irony. It's a real thing. And then further west, all the way out to Midland, Odessa, which are cities kind of further west. Oh, wow. And it's all about the oil business and there, it's just, so it's that's sort of what I think people think of when they think of Texas.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Here, it's not. This area of Texas isn't like that.
No, not
at all.
Not at all. It's developing really quickly, and there's so many different types of opportunities here. So it's exciting. It's a good time.
And how old are the kids now?
My oldest is 14. My daughter is 12. And my last born, my son, he's 5.
Aw, he's little.
Yeah, he's a COVID baby. 2020.
There was nothing else to do during COVID.
I guess so.
You know. So is he in kinder?
He is in kindergarten, yes. Mm-hmm.
And then the oldest is freshman?
10th grade. He's a sophomore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's freshman.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I lied. He's 15. He just turned 15.
Okay. That's all right.
He just turned 15.
He probably won't watch this.
Probably not.
Our kids at that age could care less
Probably
about
not.
us.
Probably not. Really. Yeah.
And if they do, they'll be like, oh, Mom.
Right.
Oh, my God, you were on a show like that's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Can you please not post about that?
Oh, yes. I know for a fact. They will tell me not to post anything about them.
Tough crap, kids. It's going to be on the internet. So tell me about your goals with your practice. Why Little Elm?
That's a great question. When we first moved out here, we were looking for locations. And when you're looking for a location for a clinic, you have to think about the type of people you want to serve and easy accessibility. And so we were just driving around and I saw this spot on the 423. And they were still building, but it just seemed perfect because there are new houses in the area that are still being built. It's right on the road on the 423, so very easy to get to. Lots of visibility. You can drive by and see that we're there. And so I just felt like it was perfect. And the community there is so family-oriented. Lots of middle-aged, young families. And so it just seemed like a perfect fit.
Yeah. So what are some of your goals with the practice?
So we just, want to serve the community. That's why, with family medicine, we get to take care of everything. And we're primary care, so we're the first stop when it comes to your medical care. And so for me, I just want to encourage everyone to get their annuals, even if you feel good, because, a lot of the times, you go see a doctor when you're sick. When you feel like something is wrong or when you hear a friend was sick, that's when you want to go. But that's not when you should go. You should go routinely once or twice a year just to make sure you know your status, you know where your levels are at when it comes to diabetes or cholesterol and all the other various things. You want to get those screenings done. They're screenings for a reason because the goal is to prevent you from developing a condition. And if you have that condition, maybe we can catch it early so that we can reverse it. So that's the main goal, to really get people to feel comfortable seeing a doctor and not feel like, they're going to hear bad news all the time. Come see me before you get sick. Then you won't
and then you won't get the bad news.
Exactly. Then you won't get the bad news. Exactly.
Yeah, I have a dear friend who, this is ages ago, found out just through a regular routine visit that he had leukemia. And it was lucky in the sense that, he was able to start medication right away and was able to extend, his life quite a bit. But I mean, he was, perfectly, you wouldn't have known, right? If he wasn't sort of in the habit of like a once a year physical. I think they're so important because you'll catch stuff that you might not have even realized. I've had 2 really good friends who've been diagnosed with breast cancer in the last couple of years, super early, right? Very treatable because they went and got their regular mammograms, right?
That is so true. I can't tell you how many times I'll see young people in their 40s, 30s, and they're coming in with high blood pressure. Their blood pressure is like, to the roof, and they had no idea. There's no symptoms. And a lot of these conditions, when they initially present, they don't present with, scary symptoms, until, it's gotten to an extent or to a point where real complications can occur, and we don't want that. So it's important to just come in, check your blood pressure, and see where it is. And it's not just about the physical too. I think it's important to note that your mental health is a part of your health overall, and we screen for depression and anxiety in our annual physicals, or at least that's what I do. I make sure that we address that, because especially in the times we live in, everyone's so overwhelmed and stressed with whatever it is that they're going through or whatever is happening in the world. It does take a toll on us. And so it's really important that that's addressed as well.
Yeah, and I don't think we think about that with our family doctor, right? You think of like blood pressure and cholesterol and, getting hit on the knee with that thing and your leg going up and that kind of thing. I don't think we think about mental health necessarily. One of the other big things, and I know just because I'm in this phase of life of perimenopause, hormone, there's so much discussion about it. And I don't think it's just because I happen to be in that phase. I think, there's been a real kind of revolution rather in how we handle hormone therapy.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, countless women coming in, just going through so much. And sometimes it is like mental symptoms, why am I so agitated, or why am I so tired, or, and it's not you. There are things happening in your body. There's some hormonal changes that are occurring that contribute or trigger these type of symptoms. And sometimes, we don't talk about it. As women, our mothers didn't tell us. They kind of just went through it,
Why didn't they tell us?
I don't know.
My mom's gone now. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why didn't you warn me? And two, like, I guess I maybe wouldn't have listened because I was, our kids' age. I was like, 12 to 14 when it happened because my mom was older and I'm an older mom too. And so he's going, the kid's going through puberty, right? While we're going through perimenopause and menopause, and it's this, but I just think, God, I would like to think that I would have been nicer if I understood that what was happening was not.
We probably would be better equipped, Right. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it's good. We're in a time now where there's awareness now, and everyone knows to, well, at least most people know to seek help when they're experiencing these things. It's not, because something's wrong with you, or you just have a attitude problem, or you know what I mean? There are things happening that, you could get help.
You're not just being a Karen.
No, you're not being a Karen. You're not being a Karen or a bitch. Yes. So, yeah.
And so you handle all that.
We handle all of that. Yes.
Because that's one thing that's been an interesting, I don't mean to harp on the hormones thing, but I was texting with some of my friends and back east. They can't find a doctor who will talk to them about it.
Wow.
And I think there's been some rule changes recently where the black box labels were taken off. And so I think that'll open things up.
Oh, definitely.
But, I have a friend who just, we can't, so they're going online because they can't find a family physician who will have a conversation with them.
Wow, that's so bad. I'm surprised too, because, there is such a push now for it. And not only for me as a physician, family medicine physician, if I feel as though maybe whatever I am managing with, or if it's not working, I do consult with gynecologists who have even more experience, who have that expert level of experience too. So the buck doesn't stop with me, right? So it's just the first step, to get the help that you need. And that's across the board with all the conditions that we deal with. I think just encouraging people to just come in. Just come in. Even if you think it's silly, whatever you're going through, most often, if you feel like something is off, it's really because something is off and you need to have it addressed. Yeah.
One of the things I like about your model is you do take insurance. Because I think one of the things, everything's bigger in Texas, is there are these huge, right? Like even I'm part of one of the big hospital chains, and that's where I have my insurance through. And so, but when I go, it's these giant buildings, and there are 8 floors or more, and it feels so impersonal to me. I'm used to having like a small office with one doctor, right? I think that's so I love that about what you're doing is it's kind of almost old-fashioned, and some not old-fashioned, but it's something we just don't see here in Texas.
And I'm glad that you touched on that, because I remember just, being a patient myself, right? I hated going to the doctor. It was cold and the walls were just like ugly, and it didn't, you don't want to go there. It's not inviting.
They all have those very clinical posters.
Yes.
Right.
So I think the difference, the approach that I've made with my clinic is to make it homey, but at the same time to make it look happy, where it's not doomsday when you come in to see me, I could also offer you good news, your labs were great. You're doing well. So for me, I agree with you. I like that personable touch. And I'm almost a part of the family. Like that's what I want to be. I want you to see me as someone that you can come to, share your concerns and your fears about what's going on. And in that, I consider your family. I consider your lifestyle. And then we sit together and come up with a plan as to what we can do moving forward to, better your health. Mm-hmm.
So which of the major insurances do you take? Kind of all of them? Or
So the goal is to take all of them. Currently, we take Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is our biggest payer right now, Cigna, Aetna. We're in the process of credentialing with United Healthcare, so that should be coming through soon. All the major commercial payers we take, and then obviously Medicaid, Medicare. Medicaid is not a popular one, but we take it. Yeah.
I mean, you mean by not popular, like for you, it's a little bit hard to manage.
Yes. Yeah, just reimbursement's not that great, but we're opening the door for everyone, especially being in a new practice. I don't want to deny anyone. We definitely take everything right now.
I think one of the things I've learned, and I'm working with a lot of the nonprofits in the area, and we've had some on the show, is even though we live in kind of a more affluent suburb of North Dallas, there's still a lot of people in need, and it's kind of hidden in the shadows a little bit. But there are people, right, who are going to be on, right, those programs who need good care, and we want to make sure that that's accessible.
Yeah, that is very true. And also those that are uninsured, or, there are a lot of business owners in our area, and a lot of them don't have insurance. And so we also have plans, payment plans and things like that for those type of patients that may not have insurance, or whatever the situation is, we try to work with you. So it's not just like one way. We definitely try to work with you in that area.
I think that's one of the nice things about not being part of a big hospital chain is you get to be like, and being a small business owner in general, because I get to be like, this is how much I usually charge, but give me $10 and we're good, right?
Yeah, we can work something out. Yes, for sure.
Because that's so nice as a way to really make sure that healthcare needs to be accessible to everybody.
Honestly, it should be. It is, it's not something that we should have to worry about. It's a natural right that we have to take care of our health. So my goal is to make sure, obviously, money is something that we need, but at the same time, I want to prioritize your health.
What do you see as some of the biggest challenges when it comes to people's health right now, and that can be solved, right?
Oh, that can be solved.
Well, easily, because I think there's so much that's out there that's easily solved that we don't, you know what I mean, like that cancer that or something like that. But I think there are many things that are more easily solved, and so I'm curious on your perspective on that.
Just come in. Yeah. Just come in. Whatever is holding you back, just come in, let's figure it out together. I think one of the biggest concerns for patients is the copay, like, I got to pay a copay, or, the insurance status. I don't have insurance. Is it, am I going to be able to afford it? Which, unfortunately, that's something we have to deal with. But again, we can work with you. You know what I mean? We can come up with a plan that is reasonable for the both of us and move forward. And there are things that we can do. There are so many different programs. So I think cost is an issue. I mean, I can't say that it's something easily solved, right? Because that's what we're dealing with right now, you know? But it shouldn't be something that should just totally stop you from being seen. Yeah.
What are your favorite tips for staying healthy?
My favorite tips are be active, move, just move. So especially now, because a lot of us work from home, I was doing that.
It's such a struggle to move every day. And I don't think it should be. I don't have any. I had disabilities for many years, like rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh, okay.
Really severe for 15 years. Wow. And so I had always had an excuse, and now I'm like, I don't have an excuse anymore other than I'm just I'm just busy. And next thing you know, it's 9 o'clock at night and you haven't, you've taken 2,000 steps.
Exactly. Yeah, no, find a way, try to squeeze it in, because just simple walking makes such a big difference. You just need to circulate that blood, get that blood to circulate. It will make so many changes that we don't even realize. And I think, it's the source of why there is obesity and heart disease and diabetes, because we're not moving. We're not moving like we're supposed to. And obviously how we eat is also a big deal. And working remotely or just, working period, having a busy lifestyle, is hard to cook a healthy meal. And so many of us will order through DoorDash and order something that's not necessarily healthy. So I think it's just really important that we try to modify our lifestyle. It's hard. I'm not going to sit here and say I do it all the time, because I'm busy too. I'm guilty of not always eating the healthiest foods, but I think the more days of doing things healthy is better than just not doing anything at all.
Yeah. What do you recommend as far as walking goes? Because it's such an easy thing to do that we think like, I have to go to the gym and I have to have a gym membership and I have to, but if you even just walking, what do you recommend?
The recommendation is to at least 30 minutes a day exercise, just 30 minutes a day. You'll get the amount of recommended exercise that actually can make a change in your body in regards to weight loss or reducing your sugar levels and things of that nature. So I think and I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of the time when I say, you need to start exercising or you need to start being more physical, automatically people are thinking, now I have to invest in, going to the gym or, do things that I don't normally want to do. Just walk. Just start off with that. Make things realistic and easy for yourself. Even when it comes to your diet, if you've been drinking Coke every day, don't just stop cold turkey, because that's not realistic. You're going to fail, Cut down slowly, limit yourself, as much as possible, because we're creatures of habit. When you start doing things over and over and over, eventually it's going to stick. It's going to be hard, but eventually you will start to crave that thing that you once did not want to do.
Yeah. Because getting to the gym's hard.
It is hard.
I'm like, I'm like looking at the, I'm like, I'm trying to make a class in an hour and 10 minutes.
Right.
Oh, but then I have to go home and change, and that feels like a lot. And you can make every excuse in the book, but despite the fact that it's raining, could I go out for a half-hour walk really easily?
Yes. Or you can even just start off 15 minutes. Right. Just tell yourself, I'm going to walk to the mailbox, or I'm just going to walk to my neighbor that lives around the corner. Whatever it is that you need to do, just set those marks for yourself, and just each week or every 2 weeks, whatever, just push yourself a little more. I think that's important. Be realistic. Be kind to yourself. Don't go crazy. We're not training for the marathon. This is a lifelong journey that you're taking, just, trying to overall improve your health. Yeah.
So the holidays are coming up.
Yes.
And so this will be airing early December. So what are some of your tips for staying healthy during the holidays besides moving? I guess the big one is just, well, stress and food, right?
Yes. Stress and food is a big deal. And with the holidays, you meet up with family, and sometimes that might be a little intense, So I would say I would say everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. Don't go crazy.
Including your family.
Including your family. Including your family. Yes, I agree. You just don't go crazy. Especially even when it comes to like alcoholic drinks, please don't go crazy. It's a holiday, but it's not an excuse to harm yourself. And then when it comes to just eating, again, moderation. Don't go too crazy, but enjoy yourself, I'm not saying don't eat certain things, but just know that certain thing that you eat too much of might be a problem for you later. So just be very cautious of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the holidays are always a hard time, especially people who are trying to maintain or lose weight.
Yeah.
Do you work with people who are trying to lose weight?
Oh, yes. Yes. That's, one of the features about my clinic that I love. We do have a wellness aspect to it. So we have a weight loss program. Outside of that, we have IV hydration, and we just hired an esthetician that is awesome, and she does facials, luxury level facials at a very affordable price. Yes. She's awesome. And so that's a unique feature. And I think a lot of clinics and practices are leaning towards adding some of the aesthetics into their offices, but we also offer that as well. But in regards to weight loss, definitely today, actually, one of my patients came in and she's lost so much weight in a span of just, 4 months. I think she's lost maybe close to 50 pounds.
Wow, how'd she do it?
She did the GLPs.
Yeah. I mean, they're great if you have a lot to lose.
And it's helped her a lot. When she first came in to see me, she was diabetic. And so now, recently, when we did her blood work, no longer diabetic. Yes. Yeah. Her levels are not diabetic ranges. She's lost so much weight. She's able to move. And that was her biggest concern, being able to exercise. Because sometimes when you get to a certain level in your weight, you're not able to move because it's so painful. Your knees hurt, your joints are aching. And so for her, that was a major concern. So the use of the GLP-1 did help in taking some of that weight off so that she could be able to move. And so now she walks. She was so happy because, losing weight is hard. It's a journey, and it can be very emotional too. Yeah, because I remember times where we would have a virtual visit, and she would be so upset because she didn't lose as much as she wanted that week. And I would try to encourage her, like, listen, this is a process. It's not an overnight thing.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Listen, yes, that is true. And so to have her come in today, and we did some before and afters, and she was so excited about it. So you'll see it on our social. Yeah, we're going to post it on there. So
speaking of social, where can we find you on social media?
So you can find me on Instagram under the family doctor, TFD _the family _ doctor. And that's where you'll see some of the things that we do. We're still learning how to post and keep up with the times. But that patient I was telling you about, you'll see her before and after. And I think it would be encouraging for a lot of people that are thinking about doing the GLPs. And there are other ways to lose weight, but this is one of the ways that has been really helpful.
Yeah. For so many people.
So many people, yeah.
I think the biggest thing my understanding with those is you have to, it's a part-time, or not part-time, it's a temporary solution, and you have to be sure to keep up with your muscle building and I know that's probably that. I think that's one of the reasons why if I needed that, I think I would go to a doctor who understood all the other aspects.
Yes, very true.
Healthy,
yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that we do when you first come in for a weight consultation. It's not hey, I want to try the GLP, and then we just like prescribe it to you. There are, things that we look at to make sure that it's actually a good fit for you. So there's blood work that we do prior to kind of rule in and rule out other things that could be contributing to your weight gain. Because there's a lot of women or a lot of people, well, at least with women, PCOS is a thing that could be, making it difficult for them to lose weight, thyroid conditions. There's just so many things that can contribute to why you're having a hard time losing weight. So we look at that and come up with a plan, customized plan for you so that you have a good outcome.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Dr. O.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We appreciate you. So tell us again where your clinic is located.
So we are located at 11700 FM 423, Suite 250. We have a cute little clinic. Come visit, come say hi, and get your animals through us. And yeah. That's where we are.
Excellent. And where can they find you online? We talked about Instagram. I know you're on Instagram, but what's your website?
www.tfdthefamilydoctor.com.
Excellent. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.